Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Once again, it is time for a Dadbod to Daddy training vlog, and today was chest and back day. A couple little minor notes here. Number one, scales up just a little bit today. I'm a little fluffier. For social reasons, I ended up drinking a ridiculous amount of Diet Coke yesterday, and I feel like it bloated me just slightly, but that's okay. Overall, still looking good. The cut's going well. Just a little minor note. So again, if I look maybe not a hair as lean as I did towards the end of last week, this could be the reason, right? Because it did put me up a couple pounds on the scale this morning, but I know that it'll come back off. That has kind of been my experience with doing that. But overall, the workout itself went good. I didn't want anything under 10 reps today. So with the benching, I ended up doing 10 with 245. Then I dropped it down to 220 and just cranked out sets of 12. Sorry, with 225. So 2 plates aside. Occasionally that comes up. People don't understand the plate math with the calibrated plates, and they don't realize that's actually 2 plates aside. You can see the little line if you look close. Rogue calibrated plates are 1 inch thick. So again, you see, look there, that's 2 inches. So pull-ups, continuing to do the wide grip pull-ups because, again, I feel those in the lats more than anything I've really ever done, even though everything grows my lats. So again, just sticking with sets of 10 on that, trying to get a nice little pause and good stretch at the bottom, at least on the last rep for sure, when I do that, to make sure that the 10s are challenging. But I'm not pushing those all the way to the limits like I do a little bit of the other stuff. Sometimes maybe that last set I make sure I do. I make sure that there's no way I could do another rep. But again, wide grip pull-ups like this, king of lats, king of lats. Again, it's one of those exercises I personally get a lot of criticism on and I kind of laugh at. I'm like, sorry guys, with wide grip pull-ups, lots of people can't touch their chest to the bar. It just is what it is. Fortunately, it's not relevant to your lat development, right? Because I'm actually taking my lats through their full range of motion if you watch the scapula. So perfectly fine. So the benching, keeping in mind here with the benching, this is a chest and back day, so I don't care about triceps as much. So if my triceps get work, it's secondary. I have an arm day. So with this benching, I go really, really wide. I go about as wide as possible. So it's index fingers on the rings. Okay, so yes, it's a very wide grip. We bench flat back. Okay, we don't bounce it off our chest. Either very soft touch and go for the reps or a good solid pause every single rep. Again, keeping the reps high, keeping that grip wide, keeping the wrist stacked. So again, something to note, and a lot of people are like, well, I can't do the really wide grip bench, it hurts my shoulders. Well, maybe you need to work on your shoulder health. Maybe you need to work on your wrist stacking. Maybe you need to work on your bar path. But there is biologically no reason that should be hard on your shoulders. It just should not be the case, right? You should be able to do that just fine without shoulder pain. And if you can't, there's larger problems that you probably need to address. By incline, I probably go a hair wider. I may even get these slightly outside the rings. Kind of the same concept. So the incline, and again, I feel this in my upper chest tremendously. It just absolutely crushes my upper chest. Love it. But note the same thing. Really wide grip. I touch it high up on the chest. Either a very soft touch and go or pause some of the reps. So all of that's controlled. There's no bouncing and we come all the way down. Okay, the same thing. That stretch at the bottom is important. Getting that nice wide grip is important if you're trying to really focus on your pectorals. On my second exercise, I went ahead and went with the seal row instead of the normal barbell row, mainly because I just want to make sure my middle and upper back are getting isolated more. I have a posterior chain day. I'm doing a lot of glute and hamstring work. I'm not worried about that. I'm doing tons of reverse hypers. I want to make sure these areas get just kind of focused on a little bit more. I think particularly because I know that my rear delts need work. So I want you guys to make a note that everything I'm doing here hits rear delts really hard for the back. Those wide grip pull-ups do when compared to chin-ups. Again, the seal row, Arm Dumbbell Rows, they're all obviously lat exercises, but those posterior delts are getting work hard. Now, keeping in mind, I come back through and isolate those on shoulder day. Now, granted, I'm only really doing one isolation for them if we don't count the other stuff that hits the side delt and all that, even though we should because it does hit rear delts. But in terms of making them the most important priority, I do an isolation for them too. So for me at this point, really it's triceps and side and rear delts probably need the most work as I continue to cut, get leaner. So just again, making sure the back's getting work good. And kind of the same thing here. I'm not as worried about arms. Why? Because I'm going to do like 12 sets of curls. Well, 12 total sets for biceps on my arm day. Obviously, I'm doing chins first, but then I do a bunch of curls. So, not as big of a deal. So I'm not thinking in those terms on this day, but keeping in mind the arms do get work, and in theory your arms would grow depending on how advanced you are, even for what I'm doing on this day. So these are all sets of 10 to 12. So we did 10s on the incline, picking a weight I'm gonna fight to get 10 reps with, right? Particularly the second exercise, I get people who are like, but I've seen you do 8 with 225 fresh. I'm getting fatigued on all that flat bench first, right? It makes a big difference. The seal rows, I'm doing sets of 12, all right? Taking a weight that's challenging to do sets of 12 with. So again, it's what we're doing here. Trying to focus on getting the best stretch that I can at the bottom with my ranges of motion. So again, I don't push these all the way to the limits. I don't try to grind out reps. I don't try to push quite as hard like I do on all the pressing, mainly because my back is my best body part. Calves and my lats, really. So not super worried about pushing them to the bleeding edge, only doing 9 sets. One thing I will note before we get to the end, I didn't do flies today. I did flies last time. I did 12 sets for pecs last week. And then because I did other chest stuff, because I have close grip bench on arm day and overhead press, my chest DOMs lasted an entire week. Okay, I had chest DOMs going all the way into Saturday. I don't think they really dissipated till about this morning. So if you have DOMs all the way till the day before you training a muscle again, the volume might be a hair too high for me to recover from. Plus the novel training response, I'm not used to doing the incline flies. So it's a case of saying maybe the volumes need to come down. So I skipped the flies. We only got 9 work sets for chest today. 9 high quality sets though, but I'll take that. Oh, for my legs, mosquitoes biting like crazy. I didn't realize how bad it was going to be until I saw the footage. Scratched in my legs the whole time. Mosquitoes are out in full force today. Welcome to the Houston area. It's built on a swamp. Calves are looking good there though, right? Calf raises are paying off. I say that, but I've always had good calves. I don't have to train them. I'm choosing to train them right now. I don't have to. Again, good for my cut. More calf muscle, more calories burned walking and doing cardio. So again, the incline dumbbells, I like to, again, we pick a weight that we can do high reps with so we can get them into position ourselves. We can do full ranges of motion. So then supersetted these with what Arm Dumbbell Rows. Sorry guys, I don't know why I'm yawning. I'm a little sleepy. So sets of 12. Although I failed on the last set, I think like rep 11, I actually hit failure. Couldn't get it up out of the bottom. So I'm using the same weight because I don't have enough really adjustable dumbbells other than the big ones and the smaller ones to really do a different weight and superset and get it done fast. So I went ahead and used the same weight for the one arm dumbbell rows, which means I'm going to get like 15 reps. Okay, just because my back is going to be a lot stronger than my incline benching. And I would normally go heavier on this. I don't think I need, obviously, quite this many reps, but I already have the dumbbell loaded and it still works. Gets the job done. 15 curl muscles just fine. And you can see the calf there at that angle. Calves are doing good. Hamstrings are doing good. So again, going to continue to get leaner. I'm not sure there's much else to talk about in this vlog. Did my 6 exercises, 3 sets of each one. Supersetted all of it, chest and back. Everything was 10 to 15 reps. Sets are close to failure or taken to failure for the most part. And it's a nice, good quality workout that I feel like I'll be able to recover from since I didn't do that extra 3 sets of flies, which I will slowly work back in. I do want to continue to build work capacity. So overall, pretty happy with today's workout. So I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.